If Western societies have become post-Christian mission fields, how can traditional churches become then missionary churches? Daryl Guter, The Missiological Context. Two pastors sit at a bar. One night, after a long day of meetings, an older pastor let out a heavy sigh. He was nearing retirement, and we were working together on a project that was supposed to reorganize our entire denomination in order to help our church better minister in a changing world. And that changing world weighed on him. He remembered well how not that long ago life was different. He swirled his drink and said to me, "You know, when I began my ministry in a church in Alabama, I never worried about church growth or worship attendance or evangelism. Back then, if a man didn't come to church on Sunday, his boss asked him about it at work on Monday." Sociologists and theologians refer to this recently past period as Christendom, the 1700-year-long era with Christianity at the privileged center of Western cultural life. Christendom gave us blue laws and the Ten Commandments in school. It gave us Under God in the Pledge of Allegiance and exhortations to Bible reading in the national newspapers. I have a copy of the Los Angeles Times from December 1963 that has stories on the Warren Commission, the 9,000-member Hollywood Presbyterian Church, and a list of daily Bible readings for the upcoming week. Can you even imagine the Los Angeles Times exhorting people to read their Bibles today? It was the day when every city father laid out the town square with the courthouse, the library, and a first church of fill-in-the-blank within the center of the city. For most of us, these days are long gone. For some of us, that is good news indeed. Did you notice the reference to man in my friend's statement? When cities are now considering using eminent domain laws to replace churches with tax revenue-generating big-box stores, when Sundays are more about soccer and Starbucks than about Sabbath, when Christian student groups are getting de-recognized on university campuses, when the fastest-growing religious affiliation among young adults is none, when there is no moral consensus built on Christian tradition even among Christians, when even a funeral in a conservative beach town is more likely to be a Hawaiian-style paddle-out than a gathering in a sanctuary, then Christendom as a marker of society has clearly passed. Over the last 10 years, I have had one church leader after another whisper to me the same frustrated confession. Seminary didn't train me for this. I don't know if I can do it. I just don't know. A number of pastors are ready to throw in the towel. Studies show that if given a chance to do something else, most pastors would jump at it. Reportedly, upwards of 1,500 pastors leave the ministry every month. A couple of years ago, I learned that 3 of my pastor friends around the country had resigned on the same day. There were no affairs, no scandals, and no one was renouncing faith. But 3 good, experienced pastors turned in resignations and walked away. One left church ministry altogether. The details are as different as the pastors themselves, but the common thread is that they finally got worn down by trying to bring change to a church that was stuck and didn't know what to do. Their churches were stuck and declining, stuck and clinging to the past, stuck and lurching to quick fixes, trying to find an easy answer for what were clearly bigger challenges. What all 3 churches had in common was that they were mostly blaming the pastor for how bad it felt to be so stuck. If only you could preach better. If only you were more pastoral and caring. If only our worship was more dynamic. Please, Pastor, do something. That is what we pay you for, isn't it? And to make matters worse, the pastors don't know what to do either. As a seminary vice president, I am now charged with confronting this reality head-on. Our graduates were not trained for this day.